morning or evening or afternoon, wherever you are. Today I want to talk about spirit guides, and this is like a new topic for me to talk about. I don't really share with the world the sort of experiences that I have with my spirit guides and with the guidance that I receive. But I wanted to share a bit about it because it's probably out of my comfort zone enough that talking about it will actually make it a bit less of a secret for me. So, spirit guides. I've been talking to spirit guides for. I've been consciously aware and talking to my spirit guides since 2021. 2021. Yeah, so a few years. It's 2024, so about 3 years on and off. I've had a relationship with my guides. I first thought they were angels, or they kind of are. Some of them are angels, some of them are like guides that have lived on this earth. But they kind of work together with the angels, with your higher self, with members of your spirit team, your spirit council, to basically just guide you through life. And you usually have like one main guide, or you can have three main guides that speak as one, or you could have multiple, more or less. Everyone has at least one. Me, I have a lot, but three main ones. I know one of them is from a lifetime in when I was on Venus, when I was living on Venus. So that lifetime was a 7D, like a seventh dimension experience or existence. So we're in the 3D right now, but we've also got 4 and 5D and 6D on planet Earth. So when you dream, you go into the 4D. When you're living in a heart consciousness, that's 5D. So that's oneness and whatnot. And then you can go even higher than that, 6D, where you're doing like creating from a divine perspective. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like you're connecting with the higher realms and bringing it down into earth. But I'd say 6D is more of the higher realms than it is on planet Earth. But you can access it from anywhere. It doesn't really matter. But I don't really have much experience with the 6D, so I'm not really sure. But basically, the guides can live anywhere from 7, even 6D or 5D, all the way up to 10, 11, 12 and beyond. So, but they need to have a certain frequency in order to be able to contact you and communicate with you. Everyone has guides. Everyone receives guidance. Everyone receives support and protection from their guides, and specifically like instructions as well. Like your guides can help you with all kinds of things. Like you don't even realize how much they're involved in your life. Obviously, there's the aspect of free will. They can only help so much, which is why knowing about them and being aware of them and having a relationship with them is really beneficial, because you can ask them for help in specific things. For me, I've done that for as soon as I learned that I had guides or angels that were helping me through my life, I actually found myself asking for help a lot more, and they were able to help me a lot more. And they still to this day help me so much, and I'm so grateful for my guides, because without them I would feel completely alone in this world. And I feel sorry for people that don't know that they have guides, that don't have a relationship with their guides, because that makes me sad, because I can't imagine how lost and scared I would feel if I didn't have my guides, or if I didn't know that I had my guides. So that's kind of why I'm making this video. I also just wanted to come and talk about it because it's super interesting to me. It's part of my daily life, like it has been for the last couple of years. I'm always asking for guidance, always asking for help in any situation that I can. I'm always listening to see what they have to say about what I'm doing. There is a lot of shame that I feel about it as well, because I feel like they're always there, always helping me, and a lot of the time I don't take them seriously, or I don't take what they say seriously, and they want to be treated with love and care as well, which they've made me aware of recently. And respect, like it's mutual. Like they respect me, they love me, so they want to be treated that way too. And I yesterday watched this video from Lee Harris about channeling, and it made me kind of become aware again that what I'm receiving, the intuitive messages I'm getting, the information that I'm getting is coming from like a divine place, and that it needs to be taken seriously, and the information needs to be like taken seriously, I guess, yeah, and cared about. Like you're not just getting, it's not a, what I receive from myself is that it's not a, it is a given that I receive this information, but it's still something that deserves my gratitude as well, and for me to take it seriously. So yeah, so my guides wanted me to talk about my guides because I think a lot of people need to know, need to become aware that they have spirit guides. And everyone's spirit guides look very different and sound different. But there's one thing in relation to all of it that is that we have in common with our guides, is that all of our guides care very, very deeply about us and about our success. And these guides have signed up to our lives on the other side to follow us around and help us, like to follow our life story, to help us, to guide us, to energetically support us, to protect us, to steer us in the right direction, to steer us away from the wrong direction. Like they are there every step of the way. And there are a few guides that you can have more than one, but usually there's one main guide that's always there, like from the moment that you're born to like the day that you die in this life. They are probably the one who's closest to your soul, someone who you've probably had other lifetimes with, so you've existed in the same realm, and before you came into this life, on the other side, or the spirit side, they were there as well. So you have history with these guys. They're not strangers. They're not something outside of. They're not like a mentor that's been assigned to you randomly from the universe. Like there's someone who signed up to help you, and as are the other guides. They signed up on purpose. It's not. They're here to support you because this Earth mission can be really tough, and we need all the support we can get, especially if you're a starseed or a light worker or a volunteer. Someone who's come to the Earth to ascend humanity. That's a big job, and even just our own awakening journey is a big job. And usually most people that have had a traumatic past are set up for an awakening, set up for some sort of a bigger purpose. But it is a tough job to come to this earth and volunteer to help humanity. It can be really challenging and scary, and the whole awakening process, like we need a lot of support through that, because a lot of humans don't understand that there is not really much support out there. Like it's growing every day, and there are schools and organizations that do help with these things, but they're not easy to find. Like you have to go looking, and a lot of people don't know what to look for. So we need that energetic support from spirit, from our guides, and from the angels, and from our spirit team, to allow us to go through the awakening smoothly as possible. So yeah, that's kind of the main purpose of guides. We all have guides. We are all blessed with guides who love us, who know us, our souls. On a soul level, they know who we are. And they are there to steer us into that direction of finding out who we are, remembering who we are, following a path that is aligned to our soul, because they know us. From our point of view, they know us better than we know ourselves. because they know the real us, whereas we get stuck in kind of like a dream where we believe that with this person, this body, this name, like the way we look, we kind of, there's a lot of focus on that, on being the body, on being the ego, like the voice in the mind. So we kind of tend to get a little bit lost because we have to. It's part of the earth school process. We do need to forget who we are. But they're there to help us remember and to steer us onto the right path to finding out again who we are. It's like the great, it's like the divine, what's it been called? The divine drama. It's like when you kind of come home to yourself after however long you've been asleep or however long you've been dreaming, that you're this other character, this human self. Because yes, we are that, but we are way more than that, and that is only the character that we're playing. That is like the human that we're being, but we are not of this world. Our souls aren't of this world. Our souls didn't originate on earth. Maybe some of us did, but not usually the people that are here watching videos like this and who are aware of things like this. Our souls are so big, and our souls come to this earth specifically to learn lessons, to be of service, to do whatever you want to do on this earth, really, because it's an earth, it's a place of free will. So but a lot of us come here to awaken the planet, to facilitate a change in consciousness, or facilitate a growth in consciousness on the planet, through the people, through the animals, through the environment and the nature. So a lot of our souls hold a frequency that when enough of us incarnate onto the planet Earth at the same time, which is the time right now, actually, since the 1960s, 50s, 60s, or maybe even earlier, maybe the 1930s, 40s. Either way, we're all incarnating at this time because our frequencies match each other's enough to the point where we're facilitating a high level of consciousness by our presence onto this earth. And so that in itself is a mission, to be here and to not give up and to not, return to the other side when things get tough. That is the number one mission of Starseeds, Lightworkers, volunteers who've come to this planet to facilitate this awakening. So spirit guides are here to help us with that because they have experience being human. They have had other lifetimes with us which make them know us. They know us and our soul, so they want to help. They want to be of service because they are working in the light. They're working for the light. So they choose to sign up with their energy and their resources and their love and their commitment to us to help us find our way. And they don't take anything personally. Like, that's one thing that we should always remember about spirit guides. And I actually do think I know this now, but it took me a while because I used to always feel like I was letting them down when I didn't take their advice. And I used to feel bad because I was like, oh, like I know this is wrong. Like when I would like drink or, do things that were irresponsible or things that I knew were destructive to myself and that weren't on my soul journey, or that weren't aligned to my true self if I knew who I truly was, When I'm acting like this other person, this Sammy, this traumatized, person who is lost and wants to escape the world, I was finding that I was feeling guilty about that because of them, because they have made their presence so known and their support so known that I felt guilty that I wasn't using it. Like I felt like there was something wrong with me. There was a lot of self-destructive behavior, and part of my self-destructive behavior was denying their help and guidance, and not wanting to connect with them because I felt ashamed of my humanness, and I felt ashamed of the coping mechanisms that I created, or that I adapted to in order to adapt to this world, which obviously were not sustainable and aren't sustainable. But yeah, so there are a lot of ways in which, like I was mentioning, that we can block ourselves from receiving support and guidance from our guides and the angels and the other side. because we usually the blocks aren't coming from them, it's coming from us, it's coming from our mental blocks and beliefs, in the way of beliefs, because we might not believe we're worthy of receiving their support, or we might feel bad, like we've let them down, like they're a parent who's upset or disappointed with us, but they're not like that. They don't judge, they don't take things personally. They of course want to be treated with care as well. They want to be listened to, of course, but they're not upset with us if we do not do what they say, or like they're not a parent figure. They're not telling us what to do and like bossing us around. They're not an authority in our lives. They are literally like a teacher. Like think of your favorite teacher, someone who was there for you, who had a lot of love for you, that saw you for who you are, that treated you like someone who was worthy. Your favorite teacher, like that energy that you feel from them, that's the sort of energy of a guide. It's like they're there to guide you, they're there to help you, because they can see more than you can see, but they're not your parent. They're not dictating what you decide. They're letting you decide. They're just there to guide you, and they're there to help you figure things out and let you figure things out on your own. They're not here to give you all the answers. They are here to show you to the answers within yourself, and show you back to yourself so that you can get the answers for yourself. So, spirit guides, they really love to have communication. So, the more you can talk to them, open up to them, sit with them in meditation, the more you can kind of just be like, increase your awareness of them, then the more you are able to connect and hear what they are sharing. It's good because a relationship works both ways. Like they've probably been giving you guidance for years, right? But if you're becoming aware of them just now, or just lately, and your awareness is starting to grow, then it means that they're probably trying to get your attention. Like they're probably trying to get you to open up to their support and their help, because maybe they want you to feel more supported and more helped in your daily life. Maybe they want you to feel less alone. Maybe they know that what you need right now is to know that you have this team of strong support on the other side that is always bolstering you, that is always around you and is helping you, and that you have people on your team. They want you to know that your guides, they want you to know that you do have support, that you're not alone, and that it's a good opportunity for you to increase your awareness of them, think about them more, ask questions. You might not get an instant answer. I get instant answers now because I know I'm starting to learn better how to interpret their messages. But what's interesting as well is that when you do receive messages from them, it can sound like it's your own voice. So it's a bit tricky because we have our ego, and our ego can imitate what we think a guide would say. So you got to watch out for that. But the way to know if it's your ego or not is how it makes you feel. If it makes you feel expanded, and if it expands your mind and expands your heart and makes you feel a sense of truth, then it's most likely your guides. It really just depends. Like, you have to learn on your own how to discern the ego versus the like a spirit guide information. But a lot of the time it's just random guidance that you'll get. Like when you're trying to figure something out in your head and you get this answer, that a lot of the time that's your guides. And yeah, so you can receive information a lot of different ways. If you want to start learning, I would suggest journaling, because when you journal and you allow things to flow through you end up kind of things will start to come out naturally. And if you were to like try and give yourself some advice on a question or write a question down and then wait for the answer to come, and you start writing, you start to just receive information and write the information. That's the easiest way to channel information from a guide or your guides. Other ways you can do it is through meditation, but that's a bit more complex. I'm not really the best at that because I don't like sitting still. My mind just gets too noisy. So another way of getting the guidance, receiving the guidance, is through divination tools like tarot cards or any kind of oracle cards, because then the answer is a bit more specific. And then when you start to receive it, you can start to hear how it's relevant to you. And like that will be your guides talking to you. But for beginners, I would suggest what I was saying before, talking to your guides, just becoming more aware of them, starting to ask them questions or talking to them. Being open to what they might say about your life situation, like whatever you're going through right now. They want to share their perspective with you, because that can help you expand your mind. And usually their guidance will come in a form of a perspective that you haven't considered before, if that makes sense. Something that you didn't think of before. Like that's the sort of thing that guides can offer you, is like a different perspective. They can actually offer they can offer outcomes as well. They can offer potential outcomes that they want you to believe might happen. Like the guidance can come in forms like that. But mainly for me, the guidance, when I receive guidance, it's more like perspective based. Like it's more about, you didn't think about it like this, or like, this way of your thinking it is, maybe try this way, think about it this way, or telling yourself this instead. And a lot of the time they make me question myself. They make me question what I'm believing. And like my energy sometimes can be really like, like angry and like just frustrated. And I can make myself into the victim a lot. Sorry, I'm sick. I'm like, yeah, I can make myself into the victim a lot. And I can get really angry and like in my head and just like get mad at the world. And my guides will often come to me, and they will just, their presence alone can make me more conscious, can make me more conscious of the way I'm behaving and how silly it is. Like it's just, they can kind of remind me like how human I'm being in those moments. And it can just be through a feeling, it doesn't have to be through any words or anything. But a lot of the time, if I'm saying angry things in my head, or I'm hearing angry thoughts in my head, like the angry dialogue, that's kind of like in this victim mentality, and it's like stressing or like angry and like just hating the world and finding reasons to be really pessimistic, my guides can come through and they'll be like, they'll ask me a question, or they'll say something that makes me flip my perspective onto like realizing what I'm looking like and how I'm behaving. And it's never in a judgmental way. Maybe I judge myself when they do offer that information or that perspective that they're getting, or they're trying to make me see a different perspective. I can often judge myself after that, but the judgment doesn't come from them. It comes from me. So that's something for me to work on. It's not about them. Nothing that they ever do is to be interpreted through judgment or shame or guilt. That they are not here for that. They do not. That's never their intention. They don't want to make you feel bad ever. They want to help you. They want to lift you up. They forgive you for everything. Even if you were to like curse them out, they would forgive you and love you like anyway. They're not parents. They're not authority figures. They are helpers. They're helpers in the other realms. They love you. They're like family, they are family, soul family. And they love you. They want to help you. They don't want you to suffer. They want to help you as much as they can to find who you are, to be who you are, and to, fulfill the missions that you came here for. So yeah, I think there's a lot more I can talk about in terms of guides. But I think for now, I'll leave it as so it's not too long of a video. But yes, I'm gonna make more videos about this because this is something that I literally think and talk about to myself all the time. I don't talk about it to people because I think it makes me sound a bit crazy. But you know, the next step for me is actually just talking about it online, because anyone that comes to this video is gonna have their perspective expanded a little bit even. So yeah, and I'm really happy to share my knowledge. You know, I'm really grateful to be able to share my knowledge. You know, I'm grateful that we have the internet and that I can share these things with people from all around the world. So I hope that this reaches someone who needed it. And if you are here, I will say, the guides are telling me to say that you were guided here because your spirit guides want a closer relationship with you. They want you to be aware of them. They want you to think about them. They want you to be, because when you're thinking about them, when you're aware of them, when you start to wonder what they would think, or you start to question them or ask them questions, or start to wonder about what they're thinking or how they're seeing things, you're starting to open up, which is the whole point, to open up to their guidance, because you're thinking about them, you're open to them. If you're wondering about them, you're open to them. If you are intending to connect with them or intending to hear what they have to say or getting curious, that's opening up to them. Like, that's just opening your mind to the possibility of receiving help. It's kind of like, I was going to say external help, but I wouldn't say it's external. It kind of is external, but it's not really, because they're in the ethereal realms, they're in the other realms, but it's connected to your soul, so it's kind of internal. And they guide you closer to yourself. They don't guide you over there or over here. They're guiding you inwards. They're pointing you in the right direction. They're not giving you the answers. They're just pointing you to what you already secretly know, but they know that you've forgotten, because we go through amnesia when we come into this planet. So your guides want you to connect with them, and however that looks, I'd suggest journaling or doing cards, but it can be anything. You can literally just ask them a question and see what comes out, and be patient, because it could take a while for them to respond, or it could be instant. You never know, but there is always one guide that is with you at all times. Your guardian angel or guides, whatever feels better for you to call them. Yeah, I've evolved from like angel to guides, because I feel like angels are messengers, and they're very helpful and they're very powerful, but guides, they're similar but not exactly the same, but they kind of are. I don't know how to describe it. It's different for everyone. So yes, I hope that this helps someone, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being open, and yeah, just taking this step, watching this video, better than watching Netflix or something, you know, like connecting with your soul. So thank you for that, and good luck with your mission and with connecting with your guides. Until next time.